Give us a call, 877-937-1047. Text us. Text JJR and whatever you want to say to the number 96893. The Couples Podcast. It's also called Couples Therapy Podcast, but Couples Podcast flows out of my mouth a lot easier, much like we've been in meetings because I say 3 things you need to know. Kyle's 3 things. 3 things. Like it just comes out a certain way for me.
Here's a couple of things.
Right. So the Couples Podcast is something we started to do on Sundays. Rich did it first, and Peyton and Kadeem did it, and then Blake and I did it. Blake and I had the most recent one. So if you go to wherever you get podcasts from, John G. and Rich On Demand channel, you can hear it. You have to scroll down. I was trying to listen to it yesterday because I haven't heard the whole thing yet. And I was so once you get On Demand, you got to scroll down to find it. Unless, of course, you subscribe, then I guess it's on your phone or something like that.
Yeah, it shows up.
Yeah. And speaking of couples, yesterday, towards the end of the show, I posted this message from my wife, Blake. I don't know if you guys saw it, where she fell down the steps, and she was trying to meditate, and a dog pooped in the room. Meanwhile, she was meditating. She does this meditation every day with this group of people on Zoom. And she was meditating, and she smelt the poop, but she was in the middle of meditation. Then when she went to go clean the poop was gone. She thinks one of our dogs ate it. It's all on my Instagram. You can see it on my Instagram. So one of the things that Blake's doing, my wife, is her and my sister started this spin-off company of Love Pup, our dog rescue. It's called Love Pup Plus. And it's in the very beginning stages. And it's kind of cool because I'm talking about it because it's been about 2 years they've been working on it. And it's not fully launched yet, but there's a website right now. And so my sister, who has deals with Netflix and Hulu and Amazon, and she lives in Hollywood, she's in charge of content, kind of, right? But Blake is the salesperson for the company and also somewhat of the face of the company, because one of the reasons this company started is because everybody was always asking Blake dog questions all the time. My dog ate a bunch of this. What do I do? All these questions. How do I get my dog to do this, right? So they started this company called Love Pup Plus. So 2 days ago, my sister and Blake have this meeting, and they need to come up with content. And so, I buy a freaking microphone for the thing, and then Blake goes and buys a gimbal, whatever that is.
Those are amazing.
And all these things, right? So I had to go to this meeting yesterday afternoon. It was over at 5:30. Then Blake and I had dinner, and then I get into show mode where I'm working on today's show. But instead, she's like, I need you to help me film this video. And I'm like, it's 7. It's almost 7. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to. What do you mean? I got to get.
Which is midnight for us.
Yeah, you're like, whoa, it's starting anything at 7 is a no-go.
I got my routine. I got my wind down routine. But I also want to be, a husband. I think I talk about that in the podcast, compromise. You have to compromise in relationships. So we open up the package of the microphone, and I can't get the microphone to work, and Dutch is working on the microphone, my son, and it's 3 things about senior dogs. And then I shoot this video of her in the front yard, and she's supposed to, one of the clip is you can walk your senior dog on short walks. And so I'm filming her walking the dog, but she doesn't have a leash. I said, you need a leash. I go, if you don't have a leash, everyone's going to get mad at me you're going to be mad at you for posting a video of you walking a dog without a leash. So she goes to get the leash, and she hands me the dog, and I'm holding the dog. It's Lego. And the sun's going down, right? So I'm like, dang it, we should have done this earlier. Why are we doing this so late? This is stupid.
Now you got the tired stress,
do it tomorrow. But then here, the sun, let me walk over this part of the yard. I got the phone out, and I'm looking, okay, the light looks good over here. And I walk over to the corner of the yard, and there's a hole in our yard, and I bite it. I wipe out.
Oh, no. Much like Jeff Bezos next to the space capsule.
That's right.
Worse.
Oh, no, that's bad.
This was bad.
Yeah, so I wipe out. And I'm so mad at her, right? But I get up, and then she comes out, and I tell her I fell. And she's like, no, you didn't. I'm like, yeah, I did. And so after we're done filming the video, I go and look at security camera footage, and sure enough, you could see it. So I posted it on my Instagram. So if you go to Instagram, and then I showed her the video of her, of me falling. And she's laughing her ass off, uncontrollably. She's laughing so uncontrollably that after a while, I couldn't take it anymore, and I just started to film. So I started to film her, the last part of her laughing for half an hour. And then I go, my ankle hurts. She goes, no, you're fine. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm fine. My ankle hurts right now. I quit. There's a hole in my whole foot went into a hole, and I wiped out.
Where's the hole from? Do we know?
Oh, yeah, dude. I want to sue.
That's even worse.
Arcadia Water. I have this every I don't know if you ever seen me post videos of sometimes there's irrigation, and sometimes there's a big bubble in my front yard.
Oh, yeah.
And the water people have come and gutted our front yard a couple times. They left a hole there, so I fell in the hole. But anyway, and then I thought at the end of the day, and there's a couple of comments on it, that it's My wife started the day falling down the stairs.
Yeah.
I ended the day falling in our front yard.
You're really connected as a couple.
Yeah, it's like a double parallel in a movie when it starts and how it ends.
That's this perfect bookend.
If you get a chance, check out the video because
I think it's
I
weird.
see the video of her laughing. I don't see the video of you falling.
you got to wait.
Oh, it's at the
in the
end.
It's at the end. It's at the end of the video.
Okay, tricky.
Like it cuts to the video of me in the security camera video, and then you see me wipe out. And then I was going to try to do that somebody, that thing.
Yeah, that trend.
I couldn't edit it right. I'm so tired. I was like, forget it, stupid Smash Mouth.
Put it up there.
Are you okay? Did you
Yeah,
hurt
my
yourself?
ankle hurts. My ankle. I put my ankle in the cold plunge a little bit longer this morning.
Yeah, that might help.
Yeah, but it still hurts. I got my treadmill in here. I was hoping I could be able to get my steps in.
Are you going to let it ruin your day today, too?
My ankle?
No, the whole thing.
This is why you shouldn't do anything after 7 p.m. when you host a morning show. It's really, truly why.
Dude.
Somebody's going to get hurt or mad. You just can't. You just have to relax. You just
Falling.
have to.
And here's the thing too. Like she says to me, if that happened to me, you'd laugh. I go, I wouldn't. I don't. I'm one of those. For some reason, I don't laugh when people get hurt. You know what I mean? But I remember my mom laughing her ass off when my dad got hurt.
Yeah, that's a
all
thing.
the time. I think there's something to do with wives getting some serious pleasure out of their husbands getting hurt. Because she laughed and giggled and giggled and giggled, and it was brutal. So if you go to John J. Van Ness on Instagram, you can see the video that I made in the front yard, which is so rookie, and then you can see the video of me wiping out. So that's at John J. Van Ness on Instagram. What do you got coming up, Colin? 3 things you need to know.
This is kind of scary knowing how many people are on Ozempic. The FDA actually issued an alert telling all of us there's actually counterfeit Ozempic that could be in the U.S. drug supply. So not just being sold off market. This is actually in supply with all the others. They seized a bunch of counterfeit medications last week, but still are saying some of them could be out there. So they're encouraging patients, wholesalers, pharmacies, and healthcare professionals to check their Ozempic just to make sure. And if you don't know what you're looking for, bring it to a pharmacy so they can check it, because these counterfeit versions of Ozempic are actually really dangerous because you have to inject it, and so it's putting your health at risk. So something to be very aware of because it is dangerous. So I thought this was kind of cool. A new study suggests taking probiotics can actually reduce your negative mood. People in this study tracked their emotional state each day, showed a clear and consistent decline in negative feelings after taking probiotics for just 2 weeks. It's all the gut health, right? That's the whole craze right now. It's like your gut health affects your entire body, your mood, everything about it. So start taking those probiotics.
That's the thing. I went to go work out yesterday and I did a core workout, and where I go work out, they have like these like digital like trainers on the TV, and in the meditation portion, they were like, okay, touch your core because that's where all of your feelings come from, your butterflies, your gut feelings, your gut health. I was like, what is going on in this thing right now? But it sounds exactly like what you're talking about. I did. I was like, this is weird, but I did it.
So I love that though, because I feel like if we can take control of our health, we'll all be healthier.
That's a good point. It's a good point. If we're not sick, we're healthier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we all know the 5-second rule, but they did a study to find out how long is too long. Is it like, have you seen the meme of like something drops on the ground and the germs go, hold on. 1, 2, and then at 5 seconds, they hop on whatever it is. So there's a Chicago microbiologist who put the 5-second rule to the test to scientifically gauge if it is safe to eat food that has fallen on the floor. And as it turns out, they found every sample of evidence had a little bit of germs on it, no matter how much time it's spent on the floor. So even 0 seconds is too long.
Unless you're hungry.
Unless you're hungry, and unless you don't care about a little bacteria on your food, it's fine. They did say the longer it stayed on the ground, the more bacteria it got. So that kind of gives a little bit of leeway when you're going in your head. You're like, well, at least it wasn't on there 10 seconds. I only have 5 seconds.
I mean,
bacteria.
if you declare the rule to 5-second rule, then you pick it up, I think you're fine.
That's right. And that's 3 things you need to know.
It's time for Peyton's predictions. What's the vibe today, Peyton?
We're going to talk about what you're secretly the best at based on your zodiac sign.
Good morning, Megan. What's your sign?
Aries.
Okay, Aries, you are low-key the best at starting drama and then pretending like you have no idea what's going on. You will light the match, walk away, and then come back and be like, oh my gosh, what happened? You are the main character and the plot twist at the same exact time.
Oh, I agree. That is so me.
Yeah, I think that's pretty on brand for our fiery Aries, for sure.
Thank you, Megan.
Right? Thank you.
Hello, Augustus.
Hey, Leo. Hayden.
I got you. Yes, we're Leos. Okay, Leos, we are secretly the best at being a walking movie trailer. We show up, the music changes, the lighting gets warmer, everyone starts looking at us, and then boom, the whole room is watching our show, and we knew it would happen.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, I think so too. Pretty valid.
Hey, thank you, guys.
Thank you. Good morning, Hudson. What's your sign?
Hi, I'm a Virgo, just like you, John Jay.
What up, dog?
Gotcha. Okay, for my Virgos, what you are secretly the best at, you're the silent fixer. You're out here analyzing people like a human lie detector while reorganizing your entire life in your head. You'll clock everyone's red flags and have the exit strategy for it. MVP behavior for sure.
I don't know about you, Hudson, but that's me 100%.
All right, thank you so much.
You got it.
Doesn't want to give it up.
It's like, just you, bro. We share a sign, but not me.
Maybe not.
Harper, what's your sign?
I'm a Scorpio.
Okay, Scorpio, this is what you're the best at. You're the absolute best at knowing stuff that you were never supposed to know. You just had a feeling is actually code for that. You scrolled on Instagram and found all of this information. You are the FBI and the drama, Harper.
Yeah, that's okay. My brother was just on Hudson.
Is he the Virgo?
Hudson and Harper.
Yeah.
I love that you guys are calling. That's so fun.
Those are great names. Your parents did good by you guys.
They did. Alliteration.
Okay.
Tough.
How about for Libras?
Yeah, Kyle is my Libra. Libra, you are secretly the best at being messy in the most aesthetic way possible. The drama, it's chaotic, but the delivery is beautiful. You'll post maybe a crying selfie and somehow it gets 300 likes in a brand deal. You're softcore chaos with great lighting.
Soft core.
I know you're against like the crying
I
on
know.
social media, but like I could see it happening.
I do like presentation. I think it's very important.
Yes.
How about Pisces?
Pisces, Richie, you are secretly the best at turning a 5-minute convo into a 3-hour emotional TED Talk. You live in your own rom-com soundtrack, and you will cry about a cloud if it looks too beautiful. You are absolutely a poetic menace.
You know, my nickname for my kids is TED Talk.
Oh my gosh, that's
Did you
funny.
get a TED Talk from Dad?
That's awesome.
You can do anything you want to do in life.
If we didn't get to your sign, they are all posted on our website at johnjandrich.com. Before we get to Stacks and Hacks, a couple of text messages about Matthew who called in earlier. The mailman saying, why are people complaining about their jobs? Remember that guy?
Oh, yeah.
602 number, John J. and Rich, I do not make a livable wage, and my job is certainly not an entry-level job. So the guy who called in this morning, this opinion isn't very accurate. It's kind of judgmental, just saying. I am administrative assistant at a K-12 charter school, and I live with my folks because as a single woman, I cannot afford to rent a decent apartment yet. Makes sense.
Yeah.
John J. and Rich, I've never understood when people have no drive to move up at all. They're fine where they're working, and they do complain about money. This guy says that. John J. and Rich, I got you guys on speed dial every time. Every time I want to call in, I just say to Siri, call John J. and Rich.
That's cool.
Yeah, very cool. Stacks and hacks. I have stacks of information. Rich has life hacks. I have random information. A study found that even if you don't work out, you can get some of the same health benefits by just rushing through stuff all the time. Even 5 minutes a day, things like speed vacuuming, a rug can make a big, big difference. The New York Post, and Peyton, I think you have a story about this, The New York Post says there's now a shortage of cousins. Birth rates have been declining. The idea is apparently going viral because of a TikTok where a female millennial talks about it. And don't you hang out with your cousins, Peyton?
I hang out with my cousins all the time. I actually think I'm getting to the point in my life where I'd prefer to hang out with my cousins, which, like, over my friends sometimes. But, yeah, I was with them last night. So.
Here's the TikTok that's making the concept that no cousins go viral.
You guys ever think about how us millennials are really the last generation of growing up with a ton of cousins and aunts and uncles? Our moms did not have the number of babies as our grandmas did. And I know there's always exception to the rule. But for the most part, our kids, our millennial kids, they're not growing up with the amount of cousins that we did.
No, that's real. My grandma's one of 10, which that's why I had so many cousins.
There
I mean,
you go.
our family weddings are no joke, probably 500 people. which is insane.
Yeah, it's same here.
a lot. So
my mom was
expensive,
one
too.
of 5, and we had a bunch of cousins, and then now it's just me and my sister. So, we made sure our kids are right around the same age to get along, but that's it.
I'm one of 8, so my kids have a lot of
They
cousins.
got a lot of-
Yeah.
You're the last. Is this you? 9% of Americans are in a new spring cleaning poll said that their garage is so full of junk they can't park the car in there. I got a lot of junk in my garage. A lot of junk.
Yeah, you still park in there somehow.
I
though.
do only feel, yeah.
When I went over to John Jay's house the other day, he took me in his garage, and it was like a mountain of hoodies. Like a mountain.
And then I showed you the rack.
Yeah.
I bought this coat rack to hang, a portable coat rack,
Yeah.
to hang all my hoodies there. And my wife thinks it's stupid.
She's like, they're going to get eaten by moths out there.
I keep here's the thing that people, I wake up in the morning, I get dressed in my closet. I put a hoodie on. I walk downstairs, I get in my car, I drive to work. In here, it's cold.
Yep,
It
it's
is.
cold right now.
When I leave here, I take my hoodie off and throw it in the back seat of my car. And then I do the same thing the next day. The same thing the next day. Then the back seat gets full of hoodies. Then I take all those hoodies and put them in the trunk whenever I have to drive anybody anywhere. Then the trunk gets so full, I take out all the hoodies and throw them in the garage and they pile up on the floor.
Why did you put a coat rack in your trunk? That would solve all the problems there.
So I bought a coat rack on Amazon, and now I just don't have hangers. And then the other day, my wife goes, let's go to Target and get you hangers. I'm like, I'm not going to Target.
You can just get them on Amazon. They're cheap.
That's what I said to her. I said, I'll just buy a bunch on Amazon. I haven't done it yet. I didn't want to go to Target because I know it's not a 5 second. If I go to Target by myself, I'll get the hangers in 5 seconds. If I go to Target with her,
You're walking
we're
out
gonna
with a
be
full
there.
cart.
Yeah. Then I got to buy more stuff. Do you have a system like this? They found that the perfect way to wake up in the morning is to let some sunlight in before your alarm clock goes off. 20 minutes before your alarm clock goes off, they're now selling a device in Japan, and it's huge, where it will open the curtains and let the sunlight in 20 minutes before your alarm goes off. And that way you don't wake up groggy, you wake up feeling fine. The problem is we wake up, there is no sunlight.
It's still dark.
Yeah, I saw
Zero
that
dark 30.
There's this alarm clock that has this like light thing on it that rises with the sun too, but that wouldn't work for
no,
us
Blake has
either.
that. I got that
yeah.
for my wife, and it's really neat, and it works. It's like it gives you the sunlight. Yeah, that's cool.
I usually sleep with the blinds open on the weekend so the sun wakes me up.
I do
But,
not.
That's too old school for this.
What do you got for life hacks, Rich?
Talk about sneezing. In fact, John Jay, you sneezed as I was putting this life hack together this morning. And sometimes you just can't sneeze when you want to sneeze. There's a little tickle in your nose. Who knows what it's from? And you don't want to sneeze. Well, here's what you do. If you feel an impending sneeze, you really don't want to sneeze in that second. Covering your nostrils and breathing through your mouth can stop it from happening. However, be careful because sometimes it comes back with a vengeance. Try to do it and then go somewhere where you can sneeze freely because it doesn't get rid of it forever. It just postpones it for a few minutes. But that airflow will stop and it alleviates the irritant that is making you sneeze. That life hack and many more at johnjayanrich.com.
Rainn Wilson of The Office. Who did he play in The Office? Anybody know?
Dwight Schrute.
Dwight. He, the theme song of The Office, there's words to the song. I don't know if you guys ever heard it, but he was pretty vocal about it, and he shared it with everybody.
The Office, a show about a boss. Mostly it's a show about Dwight. Show is a lot of fun. Mostly Dwight's a lot of fun. Remember Stanley. Mostly I remember Dwight. Krasinski's manly. No one wants a bobblehead of Jim. Let's face it, it's a show about Dwight. Let's get real.
Okay, Rich. Why'd you make your wife cry?
Well, it wasn't on purpose.
Oh, I thought it was on purpose.
Well, kind of on purpose.
Okay,
All right, so most nights, towards the end of the night, I like to listen to music, and sometimes Stacy will join me in my little room where I've got my little speaker set up, and I put on records, and I just kind of chill out a little bit. But when Stacy comes to join me, I kind of change the music because I want her to enjoy it. So I got to go to her genre, and the goal is always to give chills. I want her to feel the song and get chills. But when I started playing this particular song, I mean, it wasn't long, but the tears were flowing, and she cried hard when I played "Fast Car" by Tracy Chapman. Is a winder downer.
It's a good song.
I mean, it's a good song, and I thought she's going to get the chills and be like, "This sounds so good." But she's crying because of Tracy Chapman's relationship with her man in the song. Doesn't seem like it goes very, very well towards the end of the song.
Does not.
You get a fast car. I want a ticket to anywhere.
And, like, she was sad for Tracy Chapman's struggle. And, I mean, like, she was mad at me at the end of the session where she's like, what? I cannot.
She's really crying because of the words of the song?
I mean...
This song's not about a car?
I mean,
I have no idea. I thought it was about a car.
Well, the fast car is a metaphor for life.
Oh, I didn't know that. I literally thought it was about a car. I never listened to words. I would listen to the meaning of the words. So what's this? What do you mean? We're in a fast car. We're getting out of here.
She's trying to get a better job, just like the mail guy wanted her to.
I'm glad you played this version and not the new version that went number 1 by what's his name?
Luke Combs?
Yeah.
I went for the original.
Because I feel like this song, I mean, it was a big song, but like when, what's his name, Luke Combs did it, it went like number 1 and like everyone like discovered that it wasn't his original song, that it was Tracy.
Well, that's good for her.
I know, it's awesome
because this song's
for her.
like 30 years old.
I know, that's why I said I'm glad that you played her the orig.
I think Kyle's going to cry.
I know, Kyle's into
Explain to me how this isn't about a fast car. I don't get it.
Okay,
wait.
Listen. She's talking about her dad's an alcoholic, so her mom left him, and now she's got to take care of everyone in her family.
That's all in the
Got
song?
nothing to do about the car. It's just one verse.
She talks about like getting a better job, and then he sees more of his alcohol than he does his kids.
What?
And so now she's going to move on and leave him.
Never heard any of that. I just thought it was about a fast car. I thought it was like about Lightning McQueen.
No. I mean, so we finish, and I'm literally holding my wife going, it's okay. Tracy Chapman turned out just fine. She had lots of other good songs where she's happy about those songs.
Really?
I'm like,
what other songs she had? They just weren't hits.
Well, she has
a lot of other sad ones, too.
Some reason. Yeah, I guess that was a sad one, too.
Okay, are there other songs that make her cry? Other songs that make you cry, Kyle?
You know what? It's always the Sarah McLachlan Angel in the Arms of an Angel. That one just is tearjerker for sure.
Yeah.
Is there a song that makes you cry, Peyton?
Yeah, actually, Fall Apart by Post Malone makes me cry my eyes out every single time I hear it. Every time. And I think it was because I was like going through my first heartbreak when that song would come on and I was like, crying. And then I've seen him in concert twice and I cried both times.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What, Grant, there's a song that makes you cry?
Yeah, I cried yesterday listening to a song. I Can't Live Without Your Love and Affection by Nelson.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. I can't live without your love and affection.
Yeah, anyway, I was thinking about my wife doing dishes, and that song came on shuffle, and I was like, this is the universe being like, be thankful for your wife.
Oh my gosh, everyone's so sentimental.
Were you in like a Mercury in retrograde where everybody's wussing out on us now?
I had not cried during this for a song, but that's because I don't think I listened to any of the words.
Is there any song that would make you emotional?
I don't know.
Because nothing will make you cry.
Right.
People dying don't even make you cry. But would it get you a little emotional at all? Would you feel anything?
I don't think so.
Like those songs that you go to a concert and you get like goosebump chills and you're like, oh my goodness.
Well, that's the goal. That's always my goal.
Because it's something cool.
Yeah, it's to get
I
chills.
get goosebumps. Like there's, what's it? I like Lose Yourself by Eminem. I get goosebumps when I hear that song.
Okay.
I do.
That's a kind of an emotional one.
A lot of Eminem songs give me goosebumps, but don't make me cry.
Like I've teared up during that Something in the Orange song. Zach Bryan, you know that song?
No, I don't.
It's really sparse and just dark and moody. And
did you find Peyton's song?
I just looked for it. I couldn't find it in here.
Fall Apart, Post Malone.
Yeah, I just looked for it in here. It's not in here.
My heart. I might cry if you play it, so please
don't. Are you
serious? Makes
Why?
me cry.
Why? What
because it's just like, he's talking about falling apart and like reaching rock bottom. And it's just like the way that Posty's singing it, it's just, you just feel it in your chest.
I wonder if I'd listen to it, if I would get that.
You've probably known this. You probably have heard.
I probably heard the song,
You
but
would feel nothing.
I probably been like falling apart.
No, he gets into it too. Like the way he just sings it. Ugh.
No, you want to know what's consuming me right now? This is literally consuming me, and it's so stupid. In fact, I woke up this morning. I had to tweet about it this morning. It has nothing to do with music. It has to do with a TV show that I'm watching. And it's the prequel to Yellowstone. It's called 1923.
Oh, I just started that this morning.
Oh, you did?
You're going to love it.
What do you think? How far are you?
1923. I think I am in the second episode.
Okay, I'm like on the fourth or fifth episode. Now, Rich already finished it, and there's 2 seasons that are out. And I'm just I'm waiting. I'm not going to work hard to figure it out. I'm just going to let it happen. But like last night, I'm in bed, and I'm trying to do the math on how Harrison Ford and his kids or his nephews somehow end up being Kevin Costner's parents, and I don't see the math there.
I know. I'm still trying to figure out which one is John.
I know. That's what, they don't do a very good job of letting you know who's who. And then somebody died. But then what I'm trying to get at is that it's 1923, okay? So that means if it's Kevin Costner's dad, that means Kevin Costner When was he born? I mean, what's his name on the show on Yellowstone?
John Dutton.
John Dutton. So when is Kevin Costner's character born?
Well,
in the
can't
50s?
It can't be in 23 because he'd be 100 years old.
That's
on
what I'm trying to
So
say.
is Kevin Costner one of the kids' kids?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm in bed last night, and I'm putting the characters, and I'm trying to say, okay, so Tim McGraw was in 1883, and then had this one kid, and then this kid is, where did Harrison Ford come? And then I'm lying in bed going, okay, that doesn't make it. And I'm literally spinning.
They get you a little closer in the second season, but I still think it's a little confusing. Even though I think there's an answer, it's a little confusing.
So it's over, and Kevin Costner's not born yet?
I think what we're seeing is one of the kids that is born is Kevin Costner's dad. One of the new kids that's yet to arrive is going to be
Kevin
his
Costner's
dad.
So will there be another show about that? Because also,
there could be. You could have a 1952 and it would probably be fine.
Because this show has to pretty much, I thought about this, they either have to make, let's say it's so successful they do 10 seasons.
They can't.
It's got to be 10 seasons about the same year. Because eventually it's going to be 1924.
I think.
And then what? You got to change the show name?
I think they wrap it. I think the second season ends and it's the end of the series. I don't see how they're going to do anything more. They might, but I don't see how they're going to do
But they could, because obviously the bloodline is still there because Kevin Costner's born. And he's Yellowstone.
You know, it's somebody takes over Yellowstone that's a Dutton.
Oh,
right?
guys, L.com actually has a Dutton family tree.
Okay, I was going to Google the Dutton family tree and see if they can explain it to me, because I find it so difficult, because it's like the number one show.
So is Tim McGraw like his great-great-great-grandfather
it starts with Tim McGraw.
Right.
That's where it starts.
So he would be his great-great-great-grandfather.
Do you have it out there?
Oh, so there is, from the cast of 1923... come like Jack, the one who got shot off the horse in the first or second episode, who's getting married. He's got a brother, and the brother and the unnamed wife have Kevin Costner.
Is the brother... Oh, he's got a brother?
Apparently.
Who's Spencer then?
Spencer is older.
I thought Spencer was going to be the dad of the Duttons.
I don't know if this is right. It's hard to read.
Hello, John J. Rich. Good morning. Are you calling about Yellowstone?
Yes.
Okay, what do you got?
Okay, so it's actually 1883, 1923, and then 1944 that's going to be coming out.
Oh, really?
Oh, that solves everything right there.
Okay.
Because you can see Kevin Costner easily being born in 1944.
Sure, that tracks.
That makes perfect sense.
Because apparently...
Because the baby that Spencer and his wife had is a John Dutton.
Yeah, his name's John.
Know.
And that John has
and that
the
John has another John.
I didn't want to ruin that for you guys since you're not there yet.
That's not ruining it. I mean, you got to know there's going to be babies coming.
Okay,
No, don't worry.
we can tell they're
But if there's a
Okay.
1944, then I'm all good because
thank God.
they wrapped up the 1923 storyline is wrapped up.
Thank God, because I'm like literally keeping me up at night trying to figure it out.
It's good though. It's really.
And by the way, which is a good sign. If I don't cry to songs and TV shows keep me up at night, I think life is good. All right, thank you so much for calling in.
I can't believe you thought Fast Car was about a Ferrari.
We're going to do a little entertainment news. What's the latest on the space haters?
I think, and I was actually talking to a couple friends just last night, I think the all-women Blue Origin crew that was sent to space, or somewhat space, completely backfired, because I haven't heard a whole lot of positive things about it at all. Like, people are like, it's kind of privileged that you would go up and then try to pretend like it's changing the world when it's really not. And
have you heard the conspiracy theories yet?
which ones? I've heard a couple.
That they weren't really in zero gravity, that they just faked all that. That's why you didn't see it during
Well,
the
yeah, there was a lot of things where they're like, where's their actual protective gear? Like, if they were going Mach 3, which is allegedly the speed, like, they would need some kind of protective gear, helmets, and they come out and their hair's all like perfect and whatever. But in any case, there's a lot of, I guess, like Rich said, there's a lot of people who are skeptical, and there were a lot of people who were not happy with it. And Gayle King has something to say to all those people.
Some of them are people I know and like, so I'm a little surprised. I say you should go to Blue Origin and see what they're doing. I was one of those people in the beginning too. Space, why are we spending money on space when we have so much to do here? Space exploration is not an either or, it's a both and. And so once you educate yourself and you see that, I really resent that people are calling it a ride. We duplicated the trajectory of Alan Shepard's flight back in the day. No one called that a ride. A ride sounds frivolous. It sounds insignificant. This was a bona fide flight. I don't like people trying to minimalize what was done there.
And that isn't really the only complaint. I know Emily Ratajkowski, she actually slammed the whole mission, saying this space mission this morning is like basically a load of you know what. She's like saying that you care about Mother Earth and it's about Mother Earth and you're going up into a spaceship that's built and paid for by a company that's single-handedly destroying the planet.
Oh, please.
Look at the state of the world, blah, blah, blah. And she went on to be like, I'm disgusted.
Both of them are bothering me.
Yeah.
First of all, let's all this big space stuff. Let's talk to Emily Ratajkowski and see what she has to say about it.
You know, it seems like people are like, well, you didn't spend this much time talking about the astronauts that were stuck up there for, the better part of a year and a half coming home. You gave more attention to this. I see people complaining about that.
I also see people complaining that they called them astronauts and they were not astronauts.
Passengers. But I don't see the big deal either way. I think it's fun they did it. I think the reason
it's fun they did it too, but I think they tried to
so
make it into something more, and that's what people have an issue
They're
with.
getting so much press because it's Katy Perry, Gayle King, and Jeff Bezos' girlfriend, fiance.
Yeah.
Like, that's why. I mean, if it was Katy Perry stuck in space and they had to go get her 9 months later, they'd get national news. Like, it's a fun thing. It's okay. But I just can't believe it's turning into this huge thing. It's so stupid. I mean, but I wouldn't do it. Now, I do think it was real, by the way. I don't think it was fake. You know what I mean? Do you think it was fake? Why would they spend all? Why would they? I just can't.
I really don't know, but it's a little weird.
It's a little weird.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the Star Wars guy? Because I question the way this is written out in front of me. It could be two ways.
Okay.
So I'm curious the real
Okay, so
way.
John Jay, you watched Narcos, right?
Oh yeah, I love Narcos.
Okay, so you know Diego Luna. He actually was in Narcos, and he's also in the Disney Plus series Andor, which is a Star Wars.
Right.
Now he actually got to keep one of the pieces from Star Wars, is like one of the blasters from the set.
Cool.
And he made a big mistake with it.
I went to the airport and I said, I'm going to take it with me because if I send it down, I was stopped in security in Heathrow and the guys unwrapped the thing and they were like, oh, what is that? Weird. And I was trying to grab it to say, no, it's just a prop. And everyone, no, don't touch it. And one guy recognizes me, but from Narcos, not from Star Wars.
Well, I was going to say, the way you wrote it, you go, Diego Luna was stopped at the airport for having a weapon from Star Wars, which is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Then I thought maybe you said it wrong, and it should be Diego Luna from Star Wars was stopped at the airport for having a weapon. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not, I thought
no.
it was...
He was stopped because he had a blaster and they thought it was a real weapon.
What's going on with It Ends With Us? By the way, there's a documentary on Max about the whole Justin Baldoni freaking Blake Lively thing, which is so compelling. It's an hour long, and it seemed like it was 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
I went through it real quick.
So I think when this whole thing came out, we were like, don't you think we would hear from some of the crew members? And now some of the crew members are talking. One specifically was in an interview in Australia, and she was asked about the whole thing, and she was definitely Team Justin.
Him genuinely pitching that he was doing this film to help young women, I just find it hard to believe the allegations, to be honest.
As a woman yourself, did you ever feel uncomfortable at all in your dealings with Justin?
No, not at all. I would say I felt more comfortable being around Justin than a lot of film directors in my experience. I feel like maybe Blake smelled his kindness, mistook it for weakness, and tried to take advantage and take power. So, yeah.
That's a hard charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Blake Lively has left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouth.
She has, and part of it is if you were a judge, if I was to be on the court, a jury person, I would have to remove myself because all the videos I've seen where she's mean, I couldn't give a fair thing.
Now.
Right, I'd be like, I can't. She seems so mean in all these. She's so mean to that pregnant lady.
Yeah, that's the one I always
think. I can't be on your side right now. I need it. But if you watch the documentary on Max, it's pretty good too. And I think they try to do it evenly, but I still think you lean towards Baldoni after the documentary. Yeah,
I feel like people have a bad taste in their mouth about Blake Lively the way they do about the space mission that happened.
Yeah, just a little out of touch.
Yeah.
There you go. A little out of touch.
Yeah.